Okay, the recording has started. Good evening, everyone. To those that doesn't know me, my name is Paul. I'm passionate about bridging the digital divide in my community, right? I just love everybody to be aware of technology and leveraging them for career opportunity, for their growth in terms of career progression now, right? Because technology is a must and everybody have to embrace it, either we like it or not, right? So that's part of what led me to create a small group. I think we have like 10 people in that group. I'm trying to mentor them. I'm trying to do something practical, like beyond just normal training, tutoring. So that's what led to like, oh, let me throw this data cleaning we are doing today. Let me throw it for openly because people are already asking, how do I join your section? Because it was after the section I always post on LinkedIn. But I decided to make this one open today. So today we'll be dealing about data cleaning. And when we talk about data cleaning, especially when it comes to data analytics, we'll be using Power Query here. Some people love to use Python and other tools, but today we'll be using Power Query. And I've prepared up to, let me see, I think I'll prepare up to six. I think up to six data sets that I'll be preparing. So anywhere we stop. So this is the first data set. I'm sure most of us must have seen it and might be new to some. And some might have watched the video and maybe it's not clear. This is an opportunity for us to learn, right? I'll be solving this using two methods. I'll be solving this using two methods. So this is how the solution will look like when we are
I'm
done.
sorry, are you sharing your screen? I can't see anything.
Please, who cannot see my screen? Let's
We can
respond
see your
now,
screen. We can see
guys.
your
It could
Is
be a
my
screen.
screen
network
visible?
problem
I should
because
share. Eh?
I
it's
can see
visible.
your
It's
screen from my
visible.
phone.
It's visible. So please kindly log out and log in, right? Can log out and log. So when we clean this data set, this is what we are going to have at the end of the day. So and what led to this is that the price for each of these category item were put accordingly because why? The let's say maybe the end user or the customer, they doesn't have time of repeating this ID. That's where the challenge for this data actually comes in, which means that this other ID here is covering for binder, is covering for art. Normally it would have been something like this. It would have been something like this: one, two, three, let's say four, right? Then we're supposed to have our binder like this. So let me try to zoom out so that we can see my screen very well. Supposed to have our binder. We have our art like this. We have our phone, right? Phones like this. Then we have fastener. Just something like this. This is how the user is supposed to type them. But maybe due to time and they don't have much time, like, oh, let us put this thing like this, right? So we already know that this other idea is one covering for everything. They separated the amount for each of this category with this, should I call it straight line or should I call it straight, let's call it straight slash. So let me call it a straight slash, right? So they used it to separate them automatically. So you already know that, oh, this binder, this is the price, this art, this is the price, right? It saves them time. But this kind of data for data analyst is an headache, especially for data analyst that doesn't know how to clean something like this. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
All right. So
Yes, you are
this the
audible.
data we want to clean. So we need to look for a way first. How are we going to split this binder into pieces? Also, how are we going to split this amount into pieces? Then after we now split them, right? After they've been split, now we now need to find a way of what? Joining them back. Because you will now need at the end of the day able to match this vendor category to this price. We need to match this art to this price. So that's the task. Once we're able to do that, we'll be done. And how do we do that? We'll be making use of Power Query. And like I said, I'll be using two approaches to solve it. So you can pick either one that is, let me say, that is flexible for you or that you find it very easier to assimilate, right? We'll be using that. So let's get to Power Query. How do you get to your Power Query from Excel? So I want to ask somebody a question. The Power Query we have in Power BI and the one we have in Excel, are they the same thing or there is little difference? Are they the same thing or Who want to speak?
I think they are the same, but it's a
Yeah,
little.
just yes, you are right. They are the same thing. So please let's get that because sometimes we have. I've asked somebody during interview, right? I was trying to join. I asked him that how many power query do we have? The person said two. I was like, which one? And he said the one in Power BI. He said the one in Excel. I was like, I said I did not know. So he tried showing, but everything was looking the same, right? By the end of the day, I just have to let him know that actually they are the same thing. But only few changes exist, right? The data of Power BI has more features than the one in Excel, but basic cleaning and everything we want to do, Excel own is okay. So that's why I'll be using Excel. First thing I need to do is what? Take my data to Power Query. And how do I get to Power Query from here? How do I get to Power Query from here? Let me close this my query connection. What I need to do is that I'm to highlight the area that I want to work with, right? Or you can click any part of that range. Automatically Excel is going to pick it up, right? But to be on the safer side, I always love to highlight the range I want to work with. Then go to my data. Under this data here, click it. Once you are here, you see here under your custom tab here, get and transform data. So I'm going to select here, which means what? The source of the data that I want to clean. Okay, you want to clean your data, you want to transform your data. Where is the source of that data? Where is that data coming from? Or where is that data staying? So we have various sources here, as you can see. In your own Excel, might not be like this. If your file is from CSV file, you pick it from here. We have from the web, we have from various sources, as you can see, recent sources. This one is using existing connection, get data, right? You can bring your data from the web, you can connect your data to databases, right? So just for us to have a brief idea about that. But what I want to do is what? Table and range, because why? This is my range. I've already mapped it out. So I'm just going to click here. Then okay, didn't ask a question. Sometimes when we are cleaning the second one, it's going to ask you that, oh, this is not a table. I think let me do that. Let me try to take it off from a table so that I can try to split everything to us very well. So I'm trying to remove it from a table. So I'll convert it to a range, right? So I'm going to convert it to a range. I'm going to convert back to a range. So yes. So this now is not in a table again. It's now in a range. So if I click here and I highlight and I said I want to transform this now in my Power Query. First thing that Power Query is going to tell me is what? Create a table. Because why? You cannot take any data inside Power Query to clean. It must be in a table. So exactly, is my table in an header? I'll just say yes, my table has an header. What are my headers? My headers are this other ID, category and amount. So what I just click OK. But if you are having a table already, your Power Query will open. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear to us? Hello?
Yes, it is clear.
All right, thank you. Please, I need our response, so I know I'm not talking to myself. So first thing first that we need to do, the simple approach, like I said, we'll be using two approaches to solve this. I will split this table, right? I will have one table called category with other ID. Please, can you meet or you want to say something? Then,
I want to say something. I was asking, please don't be angry. How did he get to this place now?
How did I get what?
How did you convert to this to the Power Query? How did you get there? I didn't.
Okay, no problem. Let me recap. I think I showed us this, right? So first thing first, before I'm going back to Excel now. If you want to do your data in Power Query, it must be in a table, right? So this data initial stage, I'm having inside the table, but because of what I wanted to show us, I intentionally converted it to normal range. So immediately I want to take it to my Power Query. Something is going to pop up. So let me convert it back to range, which means that I want to remove it from a table now, right? So now it's normal, it's just like normal Excel that you always type like serial number and name. It's not in a table or anything now, it's just like normal Excel table, normal border, or let me say column and header data that earlier, or let me say template. Now I want to clean this data in my Power Query. I'm going to highlight it. Then come to data. Under this data here, you see get and transform section. Click this place. In your own might be showing it in full, right? Your own might be writing it. I think it's because of the Word version I'm using, maybe Pro Enterprise Microsoft Office. So that's why I like that. Click this table and range. It's going to, what does this thing mean is that click the source of the data that you want to clean, the data that you want to transform. Where is the data coming from? Say, oh, this is my data. So this interface or this dialog box is going to come and tell you where is the data for your table, which means what? Before you can clean your data in Power Query, it has to be inside the table. You can't clean a data outside the table. It has to be a table. Is it clear now? Can I proceed now?
Yes, it's clear.
All right, great. Please feel free to ask questions. It's 1 hour anyway. We stop today. We continue next week, right? So the main is let's get value for 1 hour that we get, not like covering the whole data set and say we don't get any. If it's only one, we can do. We mean next week we'll cover it. So I'm going to click OK. So my Power Query has opened now. As you can see now, this Power Query, right? So sorry, we are not trying to do introduction to Power Query today, right? Because all my mentees said they already get familiar with Power Query. So actually tackling project based. So in case you see me doing something, you can just ask, how did I do it? I might not be able to walk us through what this one does and what that one does, right? So first thing first is that I need to split this category. I need to split this amount. I'll put them in separate table. Then at the end of the day, I'm going to merge them together, which means what? I'm going to duplicate this first. I'm going to duplicate it. So I can call this one, I can give it a name, right? So that whenever you are doing your work, always name your table, especially if you are working in an organization, so that anybody that is reading your queries, they will be able to understand what you are doing, not that they will be calling you every time. How do you do this one? How do you do this one? Tell us, what does this one mean, right? Once you name your table, everybody will understand, straightforward, right? That's how professional does. So this one, I'm going to call it category, right? I'm going to call this table category. Then I'm going to call the second one amount. So I'm going to call the second one amount. So which means that in my first one here now, I'm going to remove this amount off because I already called it a category. So I'm going to remove amount. So I'm going to click here, then click here to remove it, right? I've removed the amount now. So what next that I need to do here is that I need to now split this category. What I need to do is that we have something called split column. Then I'll be using by delimiter. How many of us know the meaning of by delimiter? This delimiter. How many of us know about it? How many of us have heard of it before? Hello.
I've heard of it.
How many of us have heard of the delimiter before?
I've heard of it.
All right, so that's what we. Okay, you are raising your hand, please. Let's speak. Or is it I want to tell them that you've heard of it, Abi? Or you have a question?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to split it now by delimiter. So my delimiter here will be the straight line, or should I say straight slash? Because I can't call that backward slash of course. So I'll call it a straight slash. So I'm clicking it. Now you can see now, I've splitted it now. So each of them have something like that. What I need to do here is next is that what? I'm going to unpivot it. Right? And how do I unpivot it? I'm going to come to my transform here and click my what? Unpivot other columns. Can you see now? So we now have this. If you remember this when I was showing us on Excel, I don't have it again. This is what I was showing us that time on Excel, that this ID is supposed to be repeated for each category. So I've done this one, our first one. I'm done, part one. Then I'm going to come to my amount too. I'm going to remove this column for my amount. Go to my home, click remove, right? I'm going to split the amount, just same thing that I did for what? For category table. Then I'm going to come to split column. Then I'm going to click like this. So it's going to ask me for what's the style. So I'm going to click here to go for custom because I'm not using space. I'm actually using custom. So I'm going to put my custom on your keyboard. You see your straight slash there. So you type it inside this box. Then I click OK. Can you see? It's being splitted too. Next thing I will do is what? I will now pivot it too as well. Then unpivot other columns. When we talk of unpivot, it just let me say we are trying to flatten our data. We are trying to rotate it. It's just like opposite of transpose, right? It's just like opposite of transpose, but they are not the same thing. Transpose is just like you are making something that is horizontal, vertical. But when you talk of unpivot, is you are bending one part of the data against another. That's exactly what happened here. So this whole data at this stage here now, this column now is static. Then all this table now revolve around it. This row now will revolve around this other. This amount 1 will revolve around this other ID. Same thing, amount 2. That's how we're able to have duplicate other ID. So what else thing did I need to do? I'm going to split this attribute too. I'm going to split this what? This, okay. I said I'm going to use 2 means of doing it, right? So let me show you the first one. So first one is, I can come to my, I think, add column. I'll go to my index column, right? I'm going to add a unique ID, just a unique ID, right? I'm going to add this one. You can see, I'm going to go to my category table too. Hello, are we following me?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. So I've created this now. So which means that I will now need to join the 2 tables together. And how did I do that in Power Query? There is something you call what? Merge. If you go to your home, you see the merge here, right? So I'll be merging these 2 together. So I'm going to click merge. So I love to do merge as new so that I can have a new table. It's not like I'll be overriding my existing table, right? So I'm going to use this my first table. I'm going to come here too. I'm going to click my amount table. Then how am I joining them? I'm joining them on this, and I'll click this. Then I'll press enter. So a new table will be created for me shortly. You see now? Then I have this now. Can you see now? I have this now. So which means what? I've joined them together. Then next, I'm going to come here and expand the table. So I don't want this value to be giving me prefix, right? Maybe it should be giving me other ID dot, other ID should be repeating it, but I don't want prefix. So I'm going to uncheck this particular place and click OK. Even it's only value that I need, but I can move them later. So I just click like this. Can you see now? Then I have this now. I can easily now come and select the columns that I need, which is other ID, the category, and the amount. Then I'm going to come to my home here and do what? Remove other columns because I've selected the ones that I need. So this is it. Can you see now? So once I'm done with this now, I can rename it, right? I can maybe data set 1 solution 2 because I think I've cleaned it before solution 2 data set 1, right? So from here, I can now go back and load it. So we can now compare, maybe it's correct or maybe it's not correct. So the data is loading now. Let us give it like 1 second. Yeah. So it's come. Can you see now? It's now. So let me bring where is this data set 1? Yeah. Okay. So I want to copy this value here so that we can go and compare the results that we have. Yeah, this is the one we just did now. Can we see it now that we've cleaned this data now? If you check now, let me try to zoom out so that I can understand it. Let me close this place so we can get it better. Can you see now? If you check this binder now, it's carrying 609. If you check the next one, arts 5.84, it's showing it here. Can you see now? And that's how it's been done. If you check for the other ones, other idea, 1 to the office supply 2.98, another one furniture 5.94. So this is how we clean this data. So let me go back to that Power Query in case anybody wants to ask me a question, so we can easily solve it there before we proceed. So if you want to go back to Power Query, I can just click this my query and connection. It's going to show me this tab, right? from this tab, I can come here and right click and just go and do my edit. I can just right click. I think I'll press here, just click edit. Just like when you're in your Power BI, that you click that transform edit on your own tab, then we have it. So let me ask folks if you have any question before I continue. Any question for me?
Well done. Please, can you recap how you did the unique ID?
Okay, I will recap that. Okay, Tope Ifeoluwa, your hand is up. Yeah, you can ask your question, so and I will surely attend to it. Yeah.
So you have attended to the show. Attended to the question.
Okay, what's it? Oh, I can't hear you.
Hello, you asked us that do we hear about the limiter?
Okay. Well, it seems like because I'm still a bit at work, so the request of the machine is to let me just yeah. Okay, so Mr. Ridwan asked a question. So let me go back to this first one that I've been saying so that I can explain to us very well. See this place here now. I'm having table 1, table 2. And you know that the value of each other exists in themselves. What do I mean? The amount table is here. The category that they belong to is in another table here, which means that what? I need to find a unique ID between two of them. Are you getting me, Mr. Ridwan?
Yes, I'm with you.
So I need to find a primary column. It's just like maybe when you are in your Power BI or something, you join two columns together. So this index now is just like my primary key here. There is no duplicate. So it is on this primary key, or let me say this index now, that I'm now joining the two tables together. Because if you check here now, binders has 0 index. If you go to your amount too, it's having what? 0. If you remember your knowledge network, wherever you are doing your left join, something like this will come, and that's exactly what happens. So it means it's going to retrieve all the value on this side that also exists on the left side of the table, and these are all the values. So that's what at the end of the day, the tables return everything. Then I have to come here. I came here and remove other columns, which are the columns that I do not want, because of what that is the work of the join. It's going to join what exists on your other table together. They cannot remove the one that you don't want. So adding my index here just give me a platform or a bridge or a connector to help me to link these two tables together. Is it clear now? And to add your index, you just come here, come under your add column on your Power Query, click here. Then just, if you want your index to start from 1, if you want it to start from 0, anyone. But I don't need either 0 or 1, right? So I just click from 0. So that's I just have. So I'm joining this category and amount table together on this index, because this index is just like the primary key. Is it clear?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Please, who else has a question? Any question? Please, let's ask question. Ask question. Okay. So since there is no question, we have more time. So let me show us side 2 of how it can be done. In case you did not want to do add index, right? Maybe you don't want to do add index in your own way, right? I'm going to remove the add index here, right? I'm going to remove it. So I'm going to, which means that this table will not load again because I'm joining it on it and I've deleted it from the source, so it's not going to exist. So I'm going to remove it, right? So that I can show us the second one part, 1.5 parts, right? The other part I wanted to show us is not actually started. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to split this column, right? Using the split column by delimiter. Right, I'm going to split it. So full stop. You already selected full stop for me, so I click OK. And you see now, I have splitted them. I'm going to come to my amount too. So I'm just showing those various approaches, right? So that when you get to interview and you're giving something like this, you're able to know that pick the one that works best for you. And always tell people, wherever you are giving solution interview, don't use complex method. Simple one that you know that your head can carry, solve it. Your stakeholders, which are your employers or your manager that you're working with, they don't care about how you solve any problem. Their own is give us results. So if you like, go this way, go that way. Their own is at the end of the day, come up with results. Another person can use 20 lines of code to do his own. Another person can use that and drop. At the end of the day, both of you have the same solution. That's what matters, right? So I split both of them now. So I will now need to join them together, right? I'm going to come to my words. Append my merge queries, right? I love to merge as new so that I can use the table subsequently. So we merge as new. I can merge on the both tables, but because of what I would love to do with the table, so I love to create a new table format. So I'm going to come here, click this amount. So I can join them, click here, click the second one, right? That's what we call my primary key. Just like in Power Query, when you want to create your own primary key in your Power BI, that you want to model, there might be a need for you to join maybe dates and item together, right? There might be a situation where I might need to join the date and maybe customer name. Those are just various ways. So what I'm doing here now is just for me to be able to get my what? My primary key. That's what I'm doing. Then click here, press Control. You want to select the second one, press Control. Right? You know, control, we use control for multiple selection, right? So after that one, click OK. So let's see. So you can see now, we have the two now together now. So once I expand this table now, it's already showing us the amount. So amount is here. I can come here, click here. So I can uncheck. Like I told us that it's not all the columns that I need. I only need the column for the value. So I can just click value. Then I have only my amount. Can you see now? Then from there, I can remove these two. I can remove these two. Then I have my results. Hello, are we together?
Yes, we are.
Are we good? Are we on the same page?
Yes.
Let's talk now. The class is
Yes, we
there
are on
to
the same.
ask me question. Ask question. We are all here to learn.
Yes.
Okay, what's your question?
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead. Let me go to
This did the values add together when you merged, or this value is separate? This value one, the column name value one.
come in.
But yeah,
This one.
when you merged, no, the value one, value dot one.
Value dot one. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, did the columns add together because you merged them? Was it a sum of both values?
An ID. So just like I'm performing like VLOOKUP now. So Power Query is now connecting. Let me go to this main table now. Power Query is now connecting this other ID one and this one now. It's now connecting them together on the second table. So if you want to check your second table too, this same thing exists. So Power Query is now joining on those two. It's not like maybe it's merging or it's summing them together. No, both tables, they are separate entities. Can you see? This one is table one. The other one is table one. But I want to bring the two tables together. I can't use one because why is it I cannot use one here? Because one is here, one is also here. So I need to be able to create a unique ID. That was why I created that index the other time, if you remember. Because that index now, there is no duplicate. But in this kind of situation now, there is duplicate because one is here, one is also here, one is also here, one is also here. So if I'm doing VLOOKUP now, I'm confusing the Power Query engine. It won't be giving me the right. But me joining these two together now, it's just like when you join two columns in your Power Query that you want to move into your Power BI now. It's just like you generate, you form a primary key yourself, a unique ID yourself. That's exactly what I. So I'm now telling Power Query that join this my category table and my amount table on this other ID and attribute 2, which means that other ID and attribute 2 will definitely exist on my second table. And if you come here to come and check, they exist too. Other ID 2, which means that what both of them will not be like VLOOKUP now. This one, this value here, it will pick this amount, it will pick this amount too. That was what that at the end of the day, I have to come to this place and expand it because the two tables are already joined together. So I need to now expand them, then pick the one that I do not want and leave the one that I wanted. Is it clear now?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
All right. Please, who else has any question for me? And I will surely attend to them. I know might not be able to finish the project base, but at least this one will finish this first one. So, any question again, or I should proceed?
Sorry,
But Genius,
I have.
I can't hear you. Yes, Ebenezer, I can hear you.
I wanted to ask this data. I was checking through our chat. I was wondering if it dropped like a link to the data. Maybe we can.
No.
some
I
of us
already
can-
shared this data on the platform. If you remember, like a few days ago, I was telling you that we can practice ahead. That was that data. If you can check our futures ahead, I think the day for yesterday. I already posted
Okay.
on the platform. Yeah. I think maybe after
Okay,
the
sir.
section, I will minute on it so that we can practice ahead, right? For those that you have access to the time when I'm going to upload it on the YouTube, right? So I'm going to attach the practice file with it. So don't let us worry about that. I'll soon be sharing it, right? So those are the 1.5 ways of solving this. I want to show the what's it called? The second way now. I want to show the second way of solving it. So let's go. So that second way involves writing queries. So who can tell us the language of Power Query? Who can tell us? I want to
query.
delete this. Query, yeah, great. Thank you for that. So we'll be writing small query, but not deep, right? Yeah, not deep. So I want to go back to one. It's just one table that I'll be using to do that one. So that's why I'm removing all the tables that I've created before. Just one table is enough. So we pick any approach that we feel like. Please, I try as much as possible to practice this. Let's try as much as possible to practice. So I'm returning this table back to the initial stage. I'm sure we all know the meaning of apply step. It's just like doing Control Z in Power Query, right? But you cannot do Control redo. You can only undo. You cannot read in Power Query. So I have this data set. First thing first I need to do is what? Come to my, sorry, I don't need to do anything. So just leave the table as it is. Come to my add columns, right? Custom columns, custom, which means that I'm trying to write some M language, like a member code. So there's something called test splits. Test splits. Most of us, if you are using the new M365, some of all these functions should not be new to us. These are text around, text after, text before, right? So you must have seen them very well. So not like maybe it's new, right? But you just have to write them in Power Query. So next, you can see this is the parameters. I think it's called parameters, not arguments, right? Because both are actually different in programming language. So these are the parameters that is needed for this test split, which means what? The text that I want to split by the separator as text, which means that what? Your text must be text and your separator too as well must be text. That's what it's telling us here. Don't go and put your text to be, let me say, my text now is this column. And I want to put my separator and I put P. No, I need to put my P as text. And the single way of representing it as text is by putting it in a quote like this. which means power query, we understand that, oh, this is a text. So, but for this, our own category, we are using this what? This straight line. So I'm going to delete or erase this P, then put this one, then come here and close it. Can you see now? Then I'm going to click OK. I'm not giving it any column name because I don't need the name, right? Can you see now? I've created the column now. It's here already now, right? But I don't need it. I will still leave it. I want to split this second one too. Custom column. Right? I'm going to call that function. Who can tell me the name of that function? Hello.
The split
Who can tell
function.
me?
The split.
Eh?
The split function.
The split function. What's the
The
full
text
name?
split.
I just used it now.
Text split.
Exactly,
Text dot
text split. So please let us at least, if you know like M language is difficult, but this small one now I don't write now. We know say they wrote this one is not hard. So that's how we learn. It's not like you start from the level 10. It's just the small ones that I start from. So this time around, I want to split the amount, right? As you can see, the amount is in this shape. So I need to split it to comma. I'm going to put my comma here. Then my straight line, don't forget, my straight line is going to come to. From there, close it. Can you see now? Then press OK. So I have my words now. I have the two columns split there and they exist here. What next thing that I need to do now is now write my last function, which is what I want to now create a table from these two columns. From these two columns, I want to create a table. Then I'm going to come and say it's equals to table from, there is a function in Power Query called table from, I just scroll table dot from column, right? Just to be fast. Table dot from column. Just have type it here. So table dot. It's a table from columns. Okay, table from columns, right? So which means what is see the input for table from is asking for what? List. So which means, and don't forget, what is showing as our list was this place. So this is where these are the columns that I'll be passing inside these columns. Because why? The input for our what? For our table from is what? List. Is only accepting list. Well, which means what? I'll be putting these two lists inside. So because I'm making use of two lists, I'll be making use of this curly bracket. If you know your array function, right, we make use of this curly bracket when we are dealing with array, right? So I'm making use of this array function here. I'll be using it. Maybe I'll quickly show us how it works as well in Excel. There is time so that you can see how the array function works. So I'm going to put in my first column here, 1. So I'm just using this array now to group the columns that this column custom 1 and custom dot 1. I'm using this curly bracket now to group them as one. That's the reason why for that curly bracket. So it's not like they are standing alone. They are now together with this curly brackets. So I'm going to put in the second one too. Yeah. Then I'm going to close it. Then click my, oh, sorry, I'm supposed to put the curly brackets. Then close it. Then click OK. Now, this is it. You see now, I've created a table. Then I'm now going to expand this table now. Right? So click OK. Can you see now? I now have the two tables. So I can come here as usual, select the columns. I wanted this. I want these two. Then I can remove the rest because those are the 3 columns that are needed. So I can come here and remove other columns. Right? So only that ones I wanted. You can see now. Then we have this. So which approach is simple, everyone? If you had to solve this going interview, which one will you go for? Is it the first one or this one we just did now? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
You are here.
I am listening.
Yes, I said which one is very simple? Or which
Well,
one do you
both
think? Eh?
is For me, both is simple. It just depends on the one you want to use per time.
Exactly. Yeah, both are actually simple. So please, any question? Need just 6 minutes. So we can start the other, what's it called? Other data sets that I have for us. So next week, I'll be sharing, we're posting it. I'll also be meeting. It's next week, be meeting. So we are loading the second data. Okay, I think it's loading. It
Sorry,
is
I have a
loading here.
question.
Where is this data? Where is it? Oh, it did not load. Oh, what happened? Okay.
Can I ask a
Oh,
question, please?
it has opened and that shit for me. Yeah, you said what's up?
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure. We are done for today. So just ask question. We are done already. Yes.
So, on the Power Query, I'll go back to the Power Query
Okay. Yeah.
table.
I think it should be this. Yeah.
No, this table in Power Query, the one that we just did with M language. Yeah.
Yeah. You made this now.
Yes. So
Okay.
I wanted to be sure. Now that we have been able to merge and split our table.
Yes.
So for this value column now, the column 2. So if we are to change, it's supposed to be value, and then it's in the content in the
Yes, we can
column
rename actually. We can rename
as text already. So if we change it, data type, does it automatically change to
yes, you can
numbers?
even you can rename it. So just because, like I said, I just bought it in like for interview sake, right? That's just why I actually bought it in that way. But assuming that you are trying to work on it on a real world, you will definitely need to change the data type, because you won't be able to sum this column. If you get to your Power Pivot or your Power BI, you will not be able to sum it, right? So just change it to maybe a number, or since it's in decimal, I can change it to decimal. So I have this value. So you can change this one to category, right? Just because I just solved it, assuming we're having an interview. So that's why I didn't do all those change type, change. You can change this one back to text. So from here, we are good. Yeah. Is it clear now?
It means even if we don't change the type and all in Power Query, it doesn't affect the Excel result that we get.
In Excel, I think it might affect in Excel, but the original data that you work with, I think might not have it. But this particular one, let's see. Let me try to change it. Let me try to remove it back from the type that we have. Yeah, did that step. So let me load it back. Yeah, let me load it back. So let's try and see if we are going to sum it. But I'm very sure that in Power BI, if you're having column like that the data type is not valid enough, we are going to have issues in solving it. So there is a function to sum, alt and plus. So I'll just be bringing it in. You can see that it's not summing up.
Yeah, it's in it as text also. Yeah,
it's in it as text. So same thing applies. But let me see from the original. Oh, we might not be able to do it here because we've not transposed. So that's exactly what happened. Where is the page? That's exactly what happened. So let's go back to our Power Query now. And even, in fact, let me tell us something. If you come to this data set here and you edit it, let's say maybe you put something here now. Let me put buckets. Right, you can see you put bucket here. Then you come here, you put let's say 5,000. It's going to take charge too. So if I come to this one that we've done, right? Let me refresh this data. Yeah, we see that bucket here. That bucket should show here. Couldn't find the table in 15. Well, bucket should actually show. Okay, can you see the bucket, everyone? Can you see? Hello?
Yes, we can.
So just for us to let us know that whatever changes that you've applied in your Power Query, any data that is coming inside this source is going to follow the the steps that you've created down, right? So let me go back and just change. What's it called? The data type back to decimal. Then we are done, except anybody else have any question for me. So I can easily come here now, change it back to decimal, right? I can change this one to back to text. Then I'm good. I can do load and apply. So we should be able to have this sum now. All things being equal, we should have this sum. Can you see now, everyone? So as an analyst, like I told them when I was meeting with them, always put it in a currency, always apply currency to it, right? So that your stakeholder will know that, oh, this is what you are saying. So this is where we are going to pause for today, right? You can see we have more data sets to actually clean, right? We have these data sets to clean. We have all these data sets a lot to clean. So next week, right? We'll be meeting. So any question for me? Who else has any question? Which part is not clear before we call it a day? Are we all good? Hello.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
All right, great. So the video will be uploaded, let's say tomorrow, right? By this time tomorrow, the video should be live. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining. I so much appreciate your time. See us next week. And if you have any question, feel free to actually message me. I'll definitely attend to them. Thank you everyone. Let's have a great day. Let's enjoy the rest of our week. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.